I always thought we were comrades, Luke muttered. Here I go, Elle shouted. Stop them, Ortram ordered. I'm creating an enhancement magic circle, a comrade called out. Go for it, Luke. With this, I can finish it off, Luke declared. It was supposed to go on forever. What's the next John? Luke asked. Another dragon? The tough ones keep coming, huh? Ortram replied. Luke will be fine, a girl said. You mean we'll be fine, right? Luke corrected her. So why did it have to end up like that? Gah! This is where we part ways, Luke, Ortram stated. What the hell? Why me? Luke questioned. As expected of an S rank, the girl remarked. No wonder the kingdom put a bounty on you, Ortram said. Answer me, Luke demanded. Please forgive us. This pains us too, the girl pleaded. I asked you why, Luke shouted. Because you're a monster, the girl answered. The sole S-rank warrior our nation possesses. Thanks to you, we've been able to fend off the threat of monsters. But now that their numbers have dwindled, the next threat is clear. A monster. You. A single dragon can bring down a kingdom, and you slay dragons alone. It's simple. You alone can bring down a kingdom, Ortram added. I would never do that, Luke protested. That may be true now, but who can say what the future holds? The girl replied. You're really pointing the holy sword at me? Luke exclaimed. To be laid to rest by the hands of your comrades, that's the only mercy we can offer, Ortram declared. Gah! Ortram, you, Luke cried. This is what an S-rank looks like? How pathetic, the girl scoffed. Master's magic, it's just too incredible, Elle murmured. Elle, this has to be some kind of mistake, right? Luke asked. Elle, finish him, Ortram ordered. You too. Ugh. Luke groaned. Seems this task is still too heavy for Elle to bear. May I take over? The girl offered. Just get it over with, Ortram replied. Any last words? The girl asked. Remember this, Luke whispered. In this world, there existed something known as blessings. Luke's voice echoed in his own mind as he recalled those days. My companions, he spoke to no one in particular, the strongest adventurers of our time. Each of them possessed miraculous powers granted by blessings. He could see them now in his memory. The sage, Ortram Haspal, held the blessing of the Great Spirit. He remembered the stoic figure of Ortram, his presence calm yet commanding. The mage, El Claire, carried the blessing of the demon lord. Elle's sharp gaze and sinister smile flashed through Luke's thoughts, and then there was Lisha Morente, her cold voice ringing in his ears. Any last words? She had asked him once, her sword gleaming in the light. Luke had stood tall, replying without fear. The saintess Lisha Morente possessed the blessing of the goddess. He clenched his fist as he uttered his own name, a reminder of who he was. And I, Luke Othide, carried the blessing of the phoenix. A small, almost defiant smile played on his lips as he repeated the words he had sworn by. The miracle granted by that divine bird is immortality. He let out a breath. In other words, I absolutely cannot die. 3 months later, in the remote land of Azema, the wind rustled dry grass as a towering man stood before a hollowed-out tree, his stance firm and unyielding. Stay back, Lilim, Lugo commanded, his voice steady and cold. Lilim, a young girl barely past 16, stepped back immediately, bowing her head. Understood, Mr. Lugo. The air crackled with energy. Lugo raised a hand, his voice low. Pest control begins. A flash of light, a burst of magic, and in an instant, it was over. From the sidelines, a group of men who had been nervously watching gawked in awe. Sss, one stammered. Wah! He took out the whole nest in one shot, another shouted in excitement. As expected of Mr. Lugo! Even Lilim's eyes widened in disbelief as she watched the charred remains of the killer beehive fall apart. I've never seen such powerful magic before, she whispered to herself. Then her thoughts darkened as an uneasy feeling tugged at her. Just as I thought. Mr. Lugo is... An old woman, leaning on a wooden staff nearby, noticed the girl's expression. "What is it?" the old hag croaked. Lilim hesitated for a moment, then voiced the thought she couldn't shake off. "Mr. Lugo is way too strong." The old woman raised a brow as Lilim added in a hushed voice, her heart pounding. "That spell he used to take down the killer bee, too." And her words trailed into the still air. 3 months since the disappearance of the world's only S-rank adventurer, Lord Luke Othahide, monstrous threats have been rapidly increasing across the globe, she murmured to herself. Fields ravaged, livestock stolen, production and distribution thrown into chaos. And naturally, those effects had reached even their quiet corner, the remote village of Azema. "Eh? A carriage was attacked?" Lilim cried out as word reached her. A group of men from the village stood nearby, looking worn and beaten. "We got surrounded by sylphs, somehow managed to protect our valuables, but still," one of them reported grimly. Another added in frustration, "We're out of medicine, and the remaining herbs are all crushed." Lilim threw her arms up in despair. "I can't do my job like this." A sudden, piercing cry cut through the air. "Kya!" It was Hamal, the portly, eccentric baker of the village. "Where are my sweet buns? Are there no buns?" he wailed. Lilim turned to him, trying to calm him down. "Hamal-san, there are still buns in the village, aren't there?" But Hamal's face twisted in horror. "What are you talking about? Those buns are the S rank of the bun world, a gourmet masterpiece. Without them, I just can't." They're that good?" Lilim blinked. "Now I kinda want to try one." Just then, a stern, cold voice interrupted them. "What's all the ruckus?" It was Mr. Lugo, tall and imposing, arriving with a bundle in his arms. "Mr. Lugo!" Lilim quickly turned to him, grateful for his presence. "A carriage was attacked by sylphs, and whoa! What's with that bundle?" One of the men's eyes widened. That's my stolen cargo!" "I saw some sylphs making a fuss on the edge of the village. This was there. It's yours, right?" Lugo asked plainly, dropping the bundle in front of them. "Yes, you saved me," the man exclaimed with relief. "As expected of Mr. Lugo." Lilim cheered. "Now I can make medicine. Come on, quick, and let's open it up and see what's inside." But as they peered inside the bundle, a heavy silence fell over the group. "Is something wrong?" Lilim asked, sensing the shift. "It's too little," Lugo said flatly. "Huh?" Lilim blinked. Considering the size of that carriage, there should have been way more cargo. At that moment, Hamal let out another dramatic wail. "Kya! My sweet buns are gone!" Could it be?" Lilim's face paled. "My medicine is missing too." Lugo's eyes darkened, his aura shifting. "Those damn sylphs!" A low rumble shook the ground. "Was that an earthquake?" One of the men gasped. "No!" Lilim swallowed, trembling. It's Mr. Lugo's fury." Lugo's voice was a deep, ominous growl. "So you were hiding something from me after all. Mr. L. Lugo, please calm down," Lilim pleaded, but Lugo had already made up his mind. "I'm getting everything back, no matter what." He began walking toward the forest, and noticing Lilim trailing behind, he raised a brow. "Why are you following me, Lilim?" "No real reason." She shrugged, feigning innocence. "I just thought I'd tag along and observe a little. If he loses it and sends the whole village flying, that'd be a problem." As they reached the forest's edge, a voice called out from ahead. Hey. You came back, huh, Mr. Black Helmet?" A mischievous sylph named Paisha taunted from the trees. "You got me good earlier, but this time, I've got a ton of traps ready. You're the one who's gonna get wrecked this time." She let out a screeching battle cry. "Gee!" Lugo didn't even flinch. "Enough talk. Take me to your queen," he ordered coldly. The sylph's bravado vanished instantly. Yes, sir." Lilim watched, impressed. "Whoa. Mr. Lugo's definitely the don't make me mad type." The trembling sylph pointed into the dense woods. "The queen resides deep within this forest. I've marked the traps along the way on this map. So with that, oh mighty Black Helmet, could I be released now, pretty please?" "No," Lugo replied without hesitation. "Have mercy. The queen's gonna kill me." The sylph whined in terror. She's terrifying. She'll pluck my wings, set me on fire, and feed me to frogs. Lilim's heart softened a little. Mr. Lugo, maybe you could let her go. We've got the map. We don't really need her anymore. I feel kind of bad for her. The sylph perked up instantly. As expected from the kind older sister, you get it. Wah ha ha. But then she burst into giggles. That tickles. Wah ha ha ha, ah ha ha. Lilim blinked. Miss Fairy, you dropped something. Why are you holding my... Lugo sighed. A classic sylph move. Theft magic is their specialty. She probably tried to mess with you to create an opening, then escape. Lilim's brow furrowed. Is that true, Miss Fairy? I'd never do such a thing, the sylph insisted, then quickly pointed at Lugo. I bet it was this black helmet all along. Lies, Lilim snapped. Mr. Lugo may be suspicious, but he's not that kind of suspicious. There's no truth in a sylph's words, Lugo said bluntly. Believing her is pointless. Wait, no, it was just a moment of weakness. The sylph whimpered. Lilim shook her head. Enough! Hurry up and take us to your queen, would you? And so, with the trembling sylph leading the way, they ventured deeper into the forest. Deep within the forest of the giant tree, in its most hidden heart, lay the sylph's nest, a place shrouded in mist and heavy with magic. All around, the sylphs panicked in terror. It's all over, one shrieked. Kukokabuto, the black helmet of despair, has arrived. Help me! Another wailed as the commotion spread through the nest like wildfire. Lilim clutched her staff nervously as she followed Lugo into a vast chamber. Is this the queen's chamber? She whispered, peering into the ominous room. Are there any traps? The trembling sylph that had led them there stammered. None, because it's a sacred place. He he. That soft, nervous giggle did not go unnoticed. Lilim narrowed her eyes. That he just now was suspicious. Mr. Lugo. Indeed, Lugo muttered. Suddenly, the sylph squealed. Wah, stop! Q, Queen! A powerful blast of magic filled the chamber. The sylphs screamed and scattered as Lugo's attack struck at its center. To not be blown away by that, as expected of the queen, Lugo remarked coolly. Amid the settling dust, a figure coughed, rising defiantly. He he, I am the fairy queen Tiemia, the queen declared, her voice haughty. Magic of that level has no effect on me. But she staggered, a small gasp escaping her lips. Gah! Your Majesty! A sylph cried, rushing to her side. Lilim blinked. It is affecting her. The queen gritted her teeth. I said it doesn't work! Lugo's eyes narrowed as he sensed something familiar. This is Fairy King's blessing? The queen's grin returned. That's right! No one can lay a finger on me. Lilim's voice quivered. No way! As expected of Her Majesty, a sylph cheered. Hoo-hoo. But Lugo was unfazed. Perfect. I've got some questions for you. He stepped forward, his aura heavy. Where's the cargo you tricked me and stole? The queen tilted her head mockingly. Who knows where it could be? What's this pressure? From a mere human. Lugo's voice lowered. Then let me change the question. Stealing human weapons and drugs. What are you planning to do with them? A cold smile crossed Tiemia's face. Isn't it obvious? War. Lilim gasped. War! Tiemia's voice rang through the chamber, filled with manic pride. The cursed S-rank adventurer Luke Authahide is dead. This is the perfect opportunity. We'll defeat the humans and usher in the age of the sylphs, and I will become the Demon King. Eh? Lilim exclaimed in disbelief. Lugo stiffened. Lilim, this is... The queen's smirk widened. Surprised! My theft magic can even steal souls, a sylph cackled. Woohoo! Your Majesty, #1 in the world! Well then, I'll be taking your soul now. She reached out with shimmering magic, but then paused. What's this? I can't steal the soul? Eh? What does that mean? Another sylph asked nervously. Lugo's voice was cold and steady. That kind of magic doesn't work on someone with greater magical power than yourself. The queen's confidence faltered. Huh? A sylph's face twisted in shock. There's no way an ordinary human could have greater magical power than Her Majesty. I'm not ordinary, Lugo said quietly. The queen's face paled. No, this can't be. Eh? Your Majesty, what's wrong? A sylph asked, panicked. The queen's voice trembled now. I once heard from the previous queen that among humans, there are some you must never cross. The only S-rank adventurer, the natural enemy of monsters. She stared at him, horror in her eyes. I heard he was dead, a sylph's voice cracked. No way, that guy is Luke Othahide. Lugo's voice was final, deadly. I'll be taking back Lilim's soul and the cargo. The chamber fell into tense, terrified silence. Queen Tiamia gritted her teeth, her body trembling under the crushing pressure of Lugo's magic. I'm gonna be crushed, she wailed. I geek. Lugo's voice was calm, his gaze sharp. Have you reflected even a little? Reflect? As if I would… Tiamia spat, trying to steady herself. That's right. If I give up here, if I submit to something like this, I wouldn't be fulfilling my duty as queen. Damn it. If only I hadn't run into this monster. I can't afford to lose. To someone like you. Her eyes narrowed. Why did you cancel the spell? You should have just killed me. I remembered something I wanted to ask, Lugo replied, unfazed. There's still more? Tiamia groaned. Tiamia, why did you even think of starting a war? You could have just stayed hidden in this nest, lived peacefully, occasionally stealing sweets or something, right? A bitter laugh escaped the queen's lips. You really don't understand anything. Luke Othahide. Ever since you disappeared from the spotlight, monster activity has surged. As a result, weaker races like us have been driven out. Even when we asked humans for help, we were turned away at the gates, she said, her voice growing heavy. That's why we decided to defeat and occupy the human kingdom. To use them as your shield, huh? Lugo murmured. Even if it doesn't succeed, Tiamia continued, a war would make humans realize the threat of monsters again. That way, they'd be too busy fighting other monsters to bother with us. We weak monsters will just keep getting hunted unless we do something like this. Lugo stared at her for a long moment. You really thought this through. Though we were stopped effortlessly by someone like you. Tiamia sighed. Luke Othahide, you can take my life. In exchange, please spare my comrades. Tiamia, Lugo spoke, a note of something different in his voice. Come to Azima village. Huh? Tiamia blinked. I'll protect all of you. Well, wait a minute, she stammered. In exchange, don't attack humans. The plan was reckless to begin with. Even if it wasn't me, there are plenty of humans in the capital you couldn't defeat. Hey, there are many like him? Tiamia asked, disbelief on her face. From that look, Lugo could tell she had no idea. You didn't know, did you? Are you serious? She whispered. Lugo met her gaze steadily. I am. The queen stared at him, and after a moment she sighed in defeat. We're liars, so we can tell. He's not lying. It's a total defeat. Luke Othahide, she said, a small, defeated smile forming. So, you'd better protect us, okay? Of course, Lugo answered. 2 weeks later, in Azima village. Here's the medicine you asked for, Lilim said, handing a bottle to the old village woman. Sorry to trouble you, the old hag replied. If you want to thank someone, thank Mr. Lugo, Lilim added. I do that every day, the old hag chuckled. Thought so. Lilim smiled. Thanks to Mr. Lugo's efforts, the medical herbs and other cargo were all returned. Thanks to that, I can continue my work as an apothecary safely. She hesitated for a moment. Well, I can, but… Village chief, what do you think of Azema village now? I think it's become a better village than before. Right, Hamal-san? Of course, Hamal chimed in enthusiastically. Tiemia, did you like the sweet bun? Queen Tiemia, now in her casual village life, grinned. I've never eaten something so white and chewy before. They look cute, too. Perfection. Lilim watched as the village bustled with activity. A large number of sylphs had ended up settling in Azima village. They helped carry goods. Sylphs. We'll carry it. They patrolled the village outskirts. Men. Leather stuff over that way. Sylphs. Sylph elite unit. And even cared for the elderly, giving shoulder massages. Sylph. How's your shoulder? Elderly. Feels like a dream. Before anyone realized it, the sylphs had completely blended into village life, and the one who made it possible was, just as Mr. Lugo said, the old hag smiled. This cooperative relationship with the sylphs may really help the village grow. Well, yes, but personally, I'm uneasy, Lilim admitted, glancing around warily. They may be small, but they're still monsters. They've stolen underwear and even tried to steal souls. We've suffered real harm. I just can't trust them. Even so, Tiemia. Hey, Lilim. Lilim turned. What is it? Hey, you're pretty close with Mr. Lugo, right? Does he like sweet buns too? Who knows about sweets? Though, I don't think there's anyone who hates them. Why are you asking something like that? Isn't that obvious? Tiemia beamed. It's because I want to eat them with Mr. Lugo. Lilim groaned internally. Fairy smiles are just too cute, and honestly, it's a problem. Let me go, Tiemia squirmed. Sorry, Lilim muttered, restraining her. By the way, the old hag spoke up. Lilim, Tiemia, have you forgotten what today is? Of course not, Lilim straightened. Officials from the capital are coming for an inspection. Depending on how the sylphs behave, they might be exterminated as monsters. Tiemia and the others are cute, so they'll be fine, right? The old hag waved it off. Mr. Lugo already took care of the nearby monsters, too. I'm sure the inspectors will come to love Azema village. Even so, it's better to be cautious, Lilim insisted. Tiemia, as the leader of the sylphs, we're counting on you. Tiemia pumped a fist. Leave it to me. In the name of the Fairy King, with these sweet buns and our overwhelming cuteness, we'll show them the best hospitality. Lilim let out a sigh. Though sweet buns aren't actually an Azima specialty. The road to Azima village was calm, the trees swaying in the breeze as a carriage made its steady way down the path. Luluel, peering out the window, gave a small report. The route to Azima village is smooth. No monsters sighted yet. She glanced at her companion seated across from her. Our main duty as investigators is to study monsters' ecology, but this time's investigation is rather unusual. Garam, the seasoned adventurer sitting beside her, crossed his arms. The people of Azima village might be getting tricked. Why do you think that, Garam? Luluel asked, curious. Garam scowled. Sylphs are sly, mischievous, and more dangerous than they appear. Adventurers ranked C or lower get toyed with and taken out in no time. Ordinary villagers wouldn't stand a chance against them. That's exactly why I brought you, a B-rank adventurer, Luluel said with a confident smile. I'm counting on you. I want to make results here and move up to A-rank too, Garam admitted, his grip tightening around the hilt of his sword. If those sylphs show even the slightest suspicious movement, I'll cut them down. Suddenly, Garam's eyes narrowed as something outside caught his attention. What is that? Luluel leaned to look. Look outside, Garam. A sylph prank, maybe? Though, it's a bit too elaborate for that. Garam's face paled. No way. Driver, whip the horses, move. It's a death worm. Luluel's eyes widened. It's my first time seeing one. It's huge. This is time for sketching? Garam shouted, incredulous. If it catches up, this carriage will be crushed flat. That's what the escort's for, right? Hurry up and take it down, Luluel yelled back. Even an A-rank adventurer couldn't take that thing down, Garam shot back. Luluel gulped, seeing just how massive the creature was. No! Luluel shrieked. Garam grabbed the reins. If it's come to this, the reins, Hia! But then he froze, eyes wide. Huh? Luluel blinked as the worm suddenly crumpled to the ground, a gaping wound in its side. Garam, you were actually strong, huh? Garam shook his head. No, that wasn't me. It was him. Standing by the corpse, sword in hand, was Lugo. Thanks for the escort, Lugo-san, Luluel called out, relieved. No need for thanks, Lugo replied curtly. More importantly, go meet with the village chief. At least say thank you properly, Luluel muttered. I know, Garam sighed. Well, if a B-rank adventurer lost to just a regular villager, it'd be bad for your pride, right? Luluel teased. Shut up. There's no way that guy's just a regular villager, Garam muttered, eyes narrowed. At the village entrance, the village chief stepped forward to greet them. Welcome, esteemed guests from the guild. I am the village chief. And I'm the sylph leader, Fairy King Tiemia, Tiemia declared proudly, striking a pose. Luluel introduced herself politely. We look forward to working with you. I'm guild investigator Luluel. Same here, Garam added. I'm Garam, in charge of escorting. But Tiemia leaned in with a whisper. You said this pose would totally hype them up. This isn't what we talked about. The village chief shrugged. Guess city folk vibe differently, huh? Luluel cleared her throat, moving on. Getting right to it. We'd like to take a look around the whole village, if possible. We've never heard of monsters and humans living together peacefully. It's a very rare case, so we plan to draft a thorough report. Of course! Take a good look around, Tiemia beamed. Ever since the sylphs arrived, we've really been saved in so many ways, the village chief added. That's right, Tiemia cheered. Mr. Lugo, you're coming with us too. We'll show you just how amazing we are. Fine by me, Lugo said. Then it's settled. Tiemia clapped her hands. As they began touring the village, Garam leaned toward Luluel, speaking quietly. That sylph calling herself the Fairy King, she's no ordinary one, huh? I've been watching her. She hasn't left a single opening. Meanwhile, Lugo walked alongside them, his expression weary, tired of walking. Luluel studied them both closely. Maybe Mr. Lugo's strength comes from that same vigilance. Let me do a little probing. She activated her ability. Hayake, blessing of 100 plans, activate. Her eyes widened as the results appeared in her mind. That's the info I need. She has a blessing, so she wasn't just bluffing, she really is powerful. Impressed? Garam asked. Totally worth coming all the way to this remote place, Luluel admitted. Told you so. The village chief grinned. Tiemia is just the cutest after all. You won't find a girl this adorable even in the royal capital. Luluel smiled faintly, but her thoughts were elsewhere. I want to learn more about her, but what I really want to know is, Mr. Lugo, about you. She concentrated, trying to read him. What? She gasped. Even just your name. Please. Anything. Why can't I? Her mind hit a wall, an invisible barrier she couldn't bypass. I can't read it? Kia! Lugo turned slightly, his tone quiet but firm. I'd prefer if you didn't pry any further. Luluel staggered, clutching her head. My blessing of 100 schemes isn't working? Kaya! Lugo appeared beside her in a flash, steadying her before she could fall. How about you don't poke your nose where it doesn't belong? Luluel looked down, blinking. My shoes. Whoa. That was close, Lugo muttered, glancing at the ground where she nearly slipped. Luluel stared up at him, her head pounding. Who are you? Like I said before, Lugo replied coolly. It's better for you if you don't know. Luluel, are you okay? Garam rushed over, alarmed. Just a bit of a headache. Maybe I'm just tired from the long trip. Luluel forced a small laugh. Well then, Tiemia chirped, hands on hips. I guess we know where we're going first. Huh? Luluel asked, confused. To the village's best apothecary, of course. Tiemia beamed. Moments later, they arrived at a worn-looking building. We're here. This is the village's top apothecary clinic. Garam frowned. This place is seriously run down. That's rude, Garam, Luluel snapped, then glanced at the place again. That said, it really doesn't hold a candle to a royal capital hospital. Lugo stepped forward. Lilim, you have an emergency patient. Can you take a look? Okay, Lilim answered, hurrying over. Luluel blinked in surprise. This girl's the apothecary? She's just a kid. You're the patient, Luluel-san, right? Lilim asked cheerfully. Yeah, that's me, but I've already been filled in. Everything's ready. Please come inside. Hey, isn't there a real doctor? She's gotta be just an assistant, right? Garam muttered. Hey, you! That's seriously rude, Tiemia barked at him. Lilim smiled. It's true. I'm nothing as fancy as a doctor. But you know, Tiemia grinned proudly. Lilim's an amazing apothecary. An apothecary? This young? Garam frowned. It's okay, Garam, Luluel said, closing her eyes for a moment. I can smell herbs on her. So strong it's soaked into her. There's no way that happens unless you handle herbs every single day. She has more experience than she looks at the very least. Lilim gestured to a cot. Now then, please lie down and rest. Oh, gentle spirits, please show me where this person is hurt. Luluel blinked. Wait, is that a blessing? Yes, Lilim nodded. I possess the blessing of the minor spirits. I'm an apothecary who works with them. Luluel's mind raced. Blessing of the Fairy King. Now this makes the third strange blessing after Lugo's. What is going on in this village? The flow of magical energy is disrupted. Looks like it's what's causing your headaches, Lilim diagnosed. You can tell all that? The minor spirits are very talented, Lilim smiled. Peisha-chan, please bring medicines number 6 and 17. Peisha, a sylph assistant, fluttered in. You got it. A sylph assistant? Garam gawked. Peisha handed over bottles cheerfully. Here you go. Thank you, Peisha-chan. Gotcha, Peisha winked. No biggie, Lilim-san. Garam frowned deeper. A human and a sylph calling each other by names? Lilim set the medicines down. This one adjusts magical flow, and this one erases headaches. Luluel raised an eyebrow. You keep this kind of medicine in stock? Yes. Peisha chirped. Here you go. Luluel picked up the medicine, still skeptical. If these really do what you say they do, even in the royal capital, they'd take forever to get. It's all thanks to Peisha-chan and the others, Lilim explained. Huh? Luluel blinked. Peisha-chan and the sylphs are amazing when it comes to forest herbs. They know exactly what grows where. I combine the herbs they gather and, thanks to them, we can now keep rare and expensive medicine in stock. Stuff we used to have to import from the capital. The logic checks out, but sylphs are still monsters. Would monsters really show humans where to find herbs? Luluel narrowed her eyes. One sip and I'll know the truth. She took the medicine. The headache vanished instantly. No way, Garam muttered. This is incredible, Luluel gasped. Medicine with this kind of fast-acting power is nearly unheard of, even in the capital. Of course it is, Lilim grinned, hands on hips. I made it myself. Ahem, Peisha helped too. Yep, Peisha nodded. Luluel's thoughts whirled. She's young, blessed with a gift, and her skill and knowledge are the real deal. Leaving her in some backwater village would be a waste. Lilim-san? Yes? Lilim tilted her head. Have you ever considered coming to the capital? With your level of skill, you'd be in high demand. The guild would back you, and in time, you could even run a much fancier clinic. No, thank you, Lilim said politely. Oh, wonderful. Then let's start the process to bring you to the capital. Wait, what did you just say? I said no. Huh? Why not? In the capital, you'd have top-class facilities. Your salary would skyrocket, and there's tons of room for advancement. I really love Azima Village, Lilim said, her smile soft. Of course I'd be interested in having better equipment, but that's only because I want to help the people here. If I left, it would just cause problems for everyone. And besides, I've got Peisha and the other sylphs with me. Just being here helps me grow as an apothecary. The sylphs are incredible, Lilim added. They know everything about herbs, and they even warn me ahead of time when visitors are coming, like today. I've heard all about it. So the sylphs knew I was coming too, huh? Luluel realized. Exactly, Tiemia grinned. We fly all over the village and report back if anything's off. Oh, and by the way, I'm not interested in the capital either. Why would I leave when this place is the safest in the world with Lugo here? Well, Garam grunted, after seeing that kind of skill up close, Lugo, my friend, if you don't mind, would you show us what it is you normally do? I admit, I'm curious too, Luluel added. If it's all right, I'd like to join as well. Lugo gave a rare smirk. Sure, that is, if you can keep up. To be frank, Luluel regretted it. Would you mind showing me your usual routine? Garam had asked. If it's all right, I'd like to join as well, Luluel had added. Lugo gave them a level look. Fine, if you can keep up, that is. And now, I can't take this anymore, Luluel shrieked. It's another death worm. If you've got time to scream, then run. Rune! Garam yelled as he sprinted beside her. Chief, run, quick, that thing's a natural disaster-level threat, Luluel shouted toward the unbothered village elder. Ho ho, this happens all the time, you know, the village chief chuckled, unfazed. Screamed your lungs out yet? How about some tea? You think this is the time for tea? Luluel screamed back in disbelief. Listen, old man, Garam growled. That thing isn't some run-of-the-mill monster like you think it is. That's right, Luluel snapped. If we don't call for reinforcements from the capital right now, Azema village will be wiped out. What the hell is going on here? Timia smirked. With my theft magic, this is nothing. Luluel's eyes widened. What's going on? That's the glow of a soul? Surprised? Timia grinned, hands on her hips. As the Fairy King, even the souls of monsters aren't safe from my theft magic. That's awesome, Garam cheered. Take care of that giant one too. A monster of that class seems to be immune to theft magic, Timia admitted, frowning. Then what do we do? Garam demanded. Timia turned to Lugo. Lugo, can I count on you? This is gonna be tricky, Lugo muttered, studying the writhing death worm. Its core is on its forehead, but with that size, magic won't reach it. I'm telling you this for your own good, buddy, Garam warned. Retreating can be a wise choice, too. Oh, Lugo smirked. You've got something nice on you, don't you? Eh? Garam blinked. Lend me that sword. Huh? Lugo, finish it in one strike, Tiemia shouted. No problem, Lugo said, taking the weapon. He exhaled, lowering his stance, 1 foot forward, blade angled back. Luluel's eyes widened in recognition. That stance, I've seen it before. That's the stance mastered by Luke Othahide. Tiemia's voice was proud. As expected of Lugo. The village chief chuckled knowingly. Do you understand now, Inspector, that there is Azama Village's guardian? I understand perfectly, Luluel whispered. Investigator Luluel's report. Confidential. There are no hostile sylphs in the great tree forest near Azama Village. That's because they now coexist with the villagers. The sylphs have brought knowledge that advanced agriculture, dexterity that bolstered industry, and mobility that established distribution and information networks. For Azima Village, with its aging population, the sylphs' assistance became an immense blessing. The reason sylphs are so cooperative with humans is because Azima Village is the safest place around, and it's all thanks to that man. I wonder if I should even write his name. No need to hesitate, Garam said, peeking over her shoulder. We should definitely report Lugo-san to the guild. He's a monstrous asset. Lugo-san, huh? Luluel smiled. Funny how different your attitude is now compared to before. Well, Garam stammered, scratching his head. That just shows how amazing he really is. Got it. I'll make sure to tell the guild master and get them on board. I mean, if I learn from that person too, maybe I've got a shot at reaching A rank myself. Yeah, I got it, Luluel murmured. Then, glancing at Lugo, she asked softly, Lugo-san, do you have any intention of coming to the capital? Of course not, Lugo answered without hesitation. I figured Tiemia and Lilim both turned it down too. Me aside, they might accept that hand if you keep reaching out. Really? That is, if you keep making the effort. Luluel smiled faintly, watching him. If I keep persistently recruiting him, Will I eventually reach Lugo-san too? Now that Luke Othahide is gone, we need a new hero. You get it, don't you? Garam grinned, elbowing her. That guy's got the potential to become one. Luluel's eyes softened. These words are the words of my friend Lisha. Lisha Marinte, the strongest saintess who was in Luke-san's party? Garam asked, noticing her look. That's right, Garam, Luluel said quietly. I'll try telling her about Lugo-san. A few weeks after the guild members and investigators returned, Lilim found herself in battle with a terrifying monster, right behind the clinic. Let's do this, Peisha-chan, she said, determination in her voice. Yes, Lilim-san. Peisha nodded. That monster was the overgrown weeds that had run wild behind the clinic after being left alone for years. But now it was time for the final showdown. Wah! Peisha cried as she lunged in with a sickle. 3 hours later, my back! Lilim groaned, slumping over in exhaustion. I'm completely burned out, Lilim-san. Why'd you suddenly start mowing weeds anyway? Peisha wheezed, sitting down beside her. I thought I'd make a garden, Lilim admitted. A garden? That way, we can grow the herbs you girls collect, right? But we can just gather as many herbs as we want from the forest. You never know when monsters might attack. If any of you got hurt, I'd be heartbroken. Peisha's eyes softened. Lilim-san, you care about us that much. In that case, please wait. I'll go get the strongest helper ever. Helper? Moments later, Lugo appeared, towering over the yard. Fine. I'll take care of the rest. A helper. Well, there's no doubt he's the strongest, but even Lugo-san might struggle with weeding, Lilim murmured. Don't come near me. It's dangerous, Lugo warned. Dangerous. It's just weeding. How could it be? Huh? Lilim watched in astonishment as Lugo's magic obliterated the overgrown thicket in an instant. That should do it, Lugo said calmly, lowering his hand. As expected, asking Lugo-san gets it done in one shot, Peisha grinned. Seems like it, yeah. Lilim agreed. Lilim, what are you doing out here? Lugo asked. We're turning the backyard into a garden. Right, Lilim-san, Peisha chirped. What kind of seeds are you planting? These, Lilim showed him. Roca seeds. It's an ingredient for mana recovery potions. That's pretty useful, as expected of an apothecary. Heh. You flatter me. Any other seeds you'd like to plant? Some for stamina potions, and herbs for wounds too. Sounds good. Working the soil's actually kind of fun. You're a big help, Lugo-san. This is turning out kinda nice, Peisha added with a smile. Thank you for today. I'll repay you some other time, Lilim promised. Don't worry about it. If you ever need a man's help, just let me know. That made Lilim pause. Don't you think it's strange? I'm sure Lugo-san killed Luke and got a bounty put on him. Sure, the black helmet's creepy, but Lugo-san's never hurt me or anyone in the village. Maybe, just maybe, I can trust him a little. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and ask for your help. Don't hold back. Okay, and in return, if you ever need something, Lugo-san, just tell me. If it's something I can do, I'll help. When the time comes, I'll be counting on you. I would soon come to regret those words I'd just spoken. The next day. What the heck is this? Lilim shrieked as she burst into the clinic. What happened, Lilim-san? Peisha cried, rushing in. Look at this! Eh? Peisha looked over the desk, her eyes widening. All of these are medicine mixing requests. Whoa, you're right. And nearly all of them are delicate formulas that require careful balance. I have no idea how long it'll take to finish them all. Peisha picked one up, reading aloud. And this one's asking me to make a powerful aphrodisiac. Can you believe it? This one's for poison, and this one's for a fast-acting sleep drug. Is that even allowed? I'm reporting those kinds of requests all at once later. Still, how did this even happen? Excuse my intrusion, came Lugo's voice from the doorway. Lugo-san? So, Lilim got one of those letters too. I've been swamped with request letters myself. Sounds like Luluel spread our names around the capital. I'm grateful, but also Not. For me, it's 100% not, especially this letter. Is that a request from the Holy Church of Afrat? That's amazing, Lugo-san. Lilim's face lit up. Is that really such a big deal? Paisha asked. Of course it is. The Holy Church is none other than Saintess Lisha Marinte's order, the same one who was in the party of Luke Othahide. Even I know about her. What kind of request would they make? Lisha invited me to form a party. Huh? And she said she'll be coming to Azama soon. Seriously? It's true. This is a huge opportunity, Lugo-san. You should totally accept it. I can't. Why not? I've had a really bad experience with Lisha before. If we meet face to face, she might do something awful to me again. A bad experience? What was it, like romantic drama? No, but anyway, I just don't want to see her. Lugo-san does seem like the type with a lot of history. Lilim, you said I could ask you for something, right? Ah, yes. Well, this is it. I want you to meet Lisha in my place and turn down her invitation. Eh? That's my request. Eh! Lilim sighed, heart pounding. It's true. She had told Lugo-san she'd help with anything he needed, but she hadn't thought it would be this. She nervously presented a tray. Here you go. And there she was, golden hair like flowing silk, grace radiating from every inch of her being, the holy knight standing by her side, clearly brimming with strength. This was the Saintess. So then, today, what brings you here, Saintess Lisha? Lilim asked hesitantly. No need to be so tense, Lilim-san, Lisha replied with a gentle smile. I know, but still. That's right, Lilim, Tiemia cut in, her tiny fists clenched in encouragement. There's no reason to freak out. You've been acknowledged by me, the Fairy King. Just stand tall and proud. That's exactly right, Lilim-san. Lisha smiled again. I've heard of your excellence as an apothecary, and of course, I've also heard of the rumors about the Fairy King Tiemia. Naturally, Tiemia puffed out her chest proudly. I'm honored by your praise, Lilim murmured. That being said, Lisha continued smoothly, I'd like both of you to return to the capital with me and be of service there. But what about Lugo-san? Wait just a minute. I already declined this before, Lilim spluttered. Yeah, Tiemia snapped. I like it here in Azima village. Licks, that's enough, Lisha said to her knight, who looked poised for action. Honestly, knights are such hot-blooded creatures. If our future Saintess candidate Lilim were to be harmed, it would not end well for anyone. Eh? Saintess? You mean me? Lilim gaped. That's right. Lisha nodded. The intelligence to run a clinic at such a young age, the skills sharp enough to impress investigator Luluel, the deep trust you've earned from the villagers, but most of all, Lilim-san, you have a healing presence. That's a gift. Huh. It's settled. Let's make you a saint, Lilim-san. You can take the Arat Holy Church to even greater glory. No. I don't follow any of this at all. So it was just as Lugo-san warned. His words echoed in her head. Most likely, Lisha's going to come at you strong right from the start. But if you let her control the pace, you're playing right into her hands. Still, Lilim had argued at the time, we are talking about Saintess Lisha, right? Everything I've heard paints her as graceful, thoughtful, a loving soul. There's no way she'd come on that strong, right? That's exactly her tactic, Lugo had told her. Tactic? She uses that calm, graceful image to catch you off guard. Then bam, she takes total control of the conversation. If that happens, you'll need to bulldoze your way forward just to stay afloat. If I don't flip the momentum here, it'll go exactly like Lugo-san said. In that case, I have something to say, Lady Lisha, Lilim blurted out. Is something the matter? Lisha blinked. Now's my chance, Lilim thought. We declined your offer to go to the capital. That includes myself, Tiemia, and Lugo-san. I'm sorry, but we must ask you to leave. Oh, it seems there's been a misunderstanding, Lisha said quietly. I see now. Lilim's stomach dropped. Well, what's going on? A glow spread underfoot. It's a teleportation magic circle meant to take us to the capital, Lisha said sweetly. Once you're safely inducted into the Eret Holy Church, I'm sure all this confusion of yours will be cleared right up. Run, Lilim, she's dangerous! Get away now! Tiemia shrieked. Oh my! So glad to see you too, Tiemia. I was hoping you'd join us, Lisha said with a light laugh. Tiemia's face twisted. What the hell is she saying? Liz, we're leaving, Lisha ordered her knight. This is bad. This is bad. This is very bad. There's no way it'll go as bad as Lugo-san made it sound. He's exaggerating. But then another voice. You're only saying that because you don't know Lisha, came Lugo's voice. Listen to me. If it gets out of hand, call me. I'll be there in a flash. Lugo-san. Tiemia. Lugo. I stayed nearby just in case, but I didn't think she'd actually bring a teleportation circle, Lugo cursed. Help me, Lugo-san. I'm coming. Oh my, Lisha cooed as Lugo rushed in. How convenient. All three of you are present. This saves me time. I'll just escort you all to the capital in one go. Eh? Damn. Am I too late? Lugo hissed, his hand going to his sword. And Paisha called out cheerfully, holding a tray. Hey everyone, I got some pancakes from Harmo-san for the guests. She stepped into the room and blinked. Wait, what? Nobody's here? Lilim-chan? Where'd they go? Meanwhile, somewhere far from the cozy clinic, Lilim stood awkwardly in front of a mirror, staring at the elegant white robes now in her hands. So this is the Eret Holy Church's sacred vestments, she murmured. Is it all right for me to wear it? But not putting it on feels kinda weird too. She glanced around. Isn't there any way to stop this magic? Lugo shook his head grimly. Once it's activated, not even I can cancel it. You've got to be kidding me. Lilim sighed. Listen, Lilim, from here on, we're in enemy territory. Just do as they say and don't cause a scene. I'll protect you, no matter what. She took a deep breath. Lugo-san said the same thing. Shall I put it on then? She carefully slipped into the robe. Ooh, this actually isn't bad. The tailoring's so fine I could never afford it myself, and the gold accents look genuine. Being a saintess really is something else. Raising her hand dramatically, she declared to herself, Ahem! I am Saintess Lilim. Obey my words. Lilim, how long are you going to be changing for? Tiemia suddenly burst in. Wah! Lilim jumped. What's wrong? Nothing. More importantly, Tiemia-chan, that outfit. That's right, Lilim. Tiemia spun around proudly. Today I am Sister Tiemia. Whoa, so precious. You look so cute, Sister Tiemia. Right? Right? Tiemia beamed. Oh, that's right. There's something I want to show you. Something to show. They rounded the corner, and Lilim's eyes widened. Lugo-san? That combination is a bit. She hesitated, eyeing him in a pristine white uniform. If you take off that black helmet. Ah ha 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 ha! Tiemia laughed. White just doesn't suit Lugo at all. Don't say that, Lugo grumbled. Apparently, this is part of the trial period for joining, a voice called out. Everyone, it seems you've finished changing, Lisha said, entering gracefully. It suits you all very well. Now, let me show you the chapel first. Wow! Lilim gasped, stepping into the grand chamber. It's so beautiful. It's my first time in such a large chapel. She paused at a mural. The woman depicted is Orat, the goddess this church faithfully worships, right? But what's with that bird? That is, Lisha began. The phoenix Venex, Lugo answered quietly. A phoenix? Lilim gawked. Amazing. It looks like it could heal any wound. Ah, but if that happened, apothecaries would be out of business. It's not such a wonderful thing. No matter how many times you kill it, it regenerates and comes back for revenge. It's an extremely troublesome bird, Lugo added. You sure know a lot about it, Lisha observed, a glint in her eye. It's general knowledge. Huh? Both Lilim and Tiemia echoed. But wow, this painting is amazing, Tiemia said. I want to get painted by this artist too. Both Venex and Arat are legendary beings, Lugo explained, but they do exist in the form of blessings. You have the blessing of the Fairy King. If you keep making a name for yourself, you might end up a legend too, and painted in a piece like this. I see. Then I'll have to work even harder, Tiamia declared, her eyes shining. Lugo-san, are you not interested? Lisha smiled sweetly. With your knowledge and the strength even Luluel praises, surely you could become a legend too. I have no interest in that sort of— Don't say that, Lugo-san, Lisha said brightly. Become a holy knight, then you can become a legend. No, I really— Come now! A holy knight. Join the church's order. Then one day, you'll be in a painting standing proudly beside the saintess herself. Yes, maybe it will be drawn. Lugo-san. A legend, Lilim murmured, imagining it. I'm not interested in that, Lugo snapped. You can be interested from now on, Lisha pressed. Come on, let's become holy knights. White armor suits you too. If you prefer that black helm so much, why not make a white version? I told you before, I refuse. I will never become a holy knight. Eh? Lisha tilted her head. Could it be a misunderstanding? I was the one who invited Lugo to become a holy knight. This is your first time? Right? You're talking about when Lisha invited us back then? Tiamia asked. But you didn't refuse at that time? Lilim blinked. Anyway, I will not become a holy knight. Show me the way. Let's go to the next place. Lugo barked, storming off. Please wait. The route for the trial initiation isn't that way, Lisha called after him. Something's off, Lilim muttered, frowning. Isn't it strange? Tiamia added. Lugo-san said he wasn't meeting Lisha for the first time. Lilim trailed off. Yet Lisha treats him as if they're meeting for the first time, Tiamia finished. What on earth does this mean? Lilim whispered. So basically, Lilim murmured, Lugo-san knows who Lisha is. But Lisha acts like she has no clue who Lugo is, right? Tiamia pointed out. Oh, I got it. Lilim's eyes lit up. Maybe it's 'cause he's hiding his face with that helmet. The helmet? But still, Lugo-san's got that voice and those gestures. He's kind of hard to miss. Exactly. Tiamia leaned in. The helmet. Huh? Some armors come enchanted with a recognition-blocking spell. In other words, it hides the wearer's true identity. What? Who is that? A stray thought flickered in Lilim's mind. Oh, that makes sense, she gasped. Lugo must have put on that helmet specifically to hide from that woman, Tiamia whispered. She's so forceful after all. Wouldn't be surprising if he's trying to stay off her radar, Lilim whispered back. Just then, one of the younger sisters approached Lugo, her eyes sparkling. Oh my, Lugo-san, you sly thing. As expected of the famed knight, such a strong and sturdy build you have. Shall we go grab a bite to eat? I'd love to hear all about your heroic tales. Ha ha, this is awkward. Lugo chuckled, visibly uncomfortable. Oh my, Lisha murmured in amusement watching the scene. Lugo-san's super popular now, Lilim whispered. Back in Azuma village, no one paid heed to him. Tiamia giggled. The church is filled with young women. Opportunities to interact with men are quite rare here, Lisha remarked casually. Even so, is that kind of intense physical contact really okay? Lilim stammered. In the back of her mind, she recalled something she'd heard. In the Arat Holy Church, men were expected to remain celibate for life in devotion to the goddess Arat, but women were free to pursue romance as they pleased. Even so, that was too much, Tiamia huffed. Lugo looks completely overwhelmed. I'm going over there to peel those girls off him. But Lisha raised a hand. Looks like that won't be necessary. One of the overzealous girls suddenly pulled back. Huh? What the— See? Lisha smirked. Lugo straightened, bowing slightly. My sincerest apologies, ladies. I'm on guard duty today. If I find some time later, I'd be glad to stop by again. I ask for your understanding. The girl's eyes sparkled. What a gentleman. He's not just strong, he's refined and well-mannered too. You must come back, all right? It's a promise. Lilim hurried over. Lugo-san? Lugo turned, his expression unreadable beneath the black helm. The crowd's getting thick. I know this may be improper, but please, take my hand. Hey, Lugo. Oh. Oh my, Lisha chirped. If we're apart, I can't protect you properly, Lugo explained. But everyone's staring at us. Around them, jealous murmurs started up. Who is that girl? She's from the same village as Lord Lugo. Ugh, I'm so jealous. His unwavering chivalry, not even sparing us a glance. He's the real deal. I do feel sorry for them, Lugo murmured. But in unfamiliar territory, you never know where spies might be hiding. Please, think of it as helping me out. All right, fine. Kia! The sisters sighed in defeat. What, you won't hold my hand? Tiamia pouted. If my both hands are tied up, I can't protect you all, Lugo replied flatly. That's not fair, saying it like that. Well then, Lisha cleared her throat. Shall we continue the trial initiation? From that point, the tour went smoothly. This statue holds deep historical, Lisha began. Ooh, Tiamia marveled. Here, sacred rites are performed. Whoa, Lilim whispered in awe. And the saintesses gather here to sing hymns together. Sounds fun, both girls chimed in. The Arat church is amazing, Lilim grinned. It's like a sacred theme park. Heh heh, thank you very much, Lisha said, amused. You're such a goof, Lilim, Tiamia teased. This place isn't a theme park. It's a fortress, Lugo muttered, keeping his gaze sharp. The grounds outside are crawling with holy knights to protect saints and sisters. Sometimes force is necessary, Lisha explained. Now then, we've arrived. This is the final facility, the sacred sanctuary Lidilna. It's just big and empty, isn't it? Tiamia noted. Everything above and below is stark white. It feels kinda lonely, Lilim added. Even so, Lisha said softly, this is the most important facility of them all, because the Holy Scripture is held here. The Holy Scripture? Lilim repeated. Please, this way. Lilim's stomach tightened. It's going to be okay. Right? No matter what happens, I know Lugo-san will… Lugo, that thing over there. It's fine, right? Tiamia asked cautiously. I don't sense any danger. For now, Lugo replied, his voice low. But refusing here would only cause more trouble. Still, I'll stay on guard. Please step forward, Lisha instructed. Now then, Lilim-san, let us pray to the goddess Arat. Lady Lisha, there's nothing written here, Lilim murmured, staring nervously at the pristine page before her. Lisha smiled serenely. Only when someone with the qualities of a saintess prays does the prophecy of the goddess Arat begin to be written. The words of the goddess only appear when one with the qualities of a true saint offers their prayer. Please, no need to be nervous. Just place your hands upon the scripture. Lisha encouraged her kindly. So, the divine revelation you spoke of back in Azima village, that was how you received it, wasn't it? I've received 3 revelations, Lisha continued smoothly. The first, a girl of monsters in Azima village shall bring salvation to the kingdom. Lilim swallowed. The second, the one long awaited, shall arrive. I had been searching for someone strong enough to oppose the monsters, and that must refer to Lugo-san. She smiled sweetly. And then… Lady Lisha? Lilim asked nervously, her hands still hovering above the book. The third is the troublesome one, Lisha whispered, her voice growing strangely cold. The one chosen to be a saint must be a beautiful human girl with extraordinary talent. Her pale hand reached out, brushing Lilim's cheek. I only spoke with you briefly, Lisha murmured. But honestly, your charm and talent captivated me. Lilisha-san! Stop it! Lilim stammered, trying to pull away. Did you know? Lisha went on, her voice honeyed and sharp. To become a saintess, only human girls can qualify. Meanwhile, down below, Tiamia frowned. Don't you think it's kind of weird? Since when did she get so close to Leisha? Yeah, Lugo growled under his breath. Something feels off. Back at the altar, Leisha calmly announced, "The third prophecy said, the girl from Azima village visiting the sanctuary today is actually a monster. Now, I wonder who this rule might be a problem for." Lilim froze, her blood running cold. "Don't move," Leisha warned in a silken whisper. "It'll take Lugo-san and Tiemiya-san some time to climb up here, and if you try to run, you'll be deemed a monster and—" "Hi!" Lilim gasped, terror locking her in place. "If you don't want to die," Leisha said sweetly, "then pray, prove your innocence before the goddess. Now, hurry!" I have no choice." Lilim trembled, placing her hands on the scripture. "Oh, goddess!" A sudden flash of blinding light burst from the holy book. "It's so bright!" Tiemiya shielded her eyes. "That light, what is it?" "Oh no!" Lugo cursed. "So it was true after all." Leisha's voice was icy. "Die, you wretched monster of calamity. Divine punishment has been delivered." "Lugo-san!" Lilim screamed. Lugo was instantly at her side, shoving her aside as the light struck his arm. "I'm sorry. That must have been terrifying." "Lugo-san! Your arm!" Lilim cried, seeing the blood. "It's just a scratch," Lugo grunted. Leisha took a step forward, calm and merciless. "Step aside, Lugo-san. That thing is a monster disguised as a human. We must eliminate it before it harms anyone." Lugo's gaze turned cold. "What did you just say?" "No, that's not true," Lilim sobbed, clinging to his arm. "Lugo-san, it's not true. I'm sorry." "It's okay, Lilim," Lugo said quietly. "I'm the one who should be apologizing. We should have gotten the hell out of this place way sooner." "You think you can escape?" Leisha challenged. "Tiemiya!" Lugo called sharply. "I see," Leisha murmured, watching them closely. "I'm sorry, Tiemiya. I'm so sorry," Lilim sobbed. "What are you talking about? The one at fault is that crazy saintess. Now run!" "What the hell is that?" someone shouted as a large glowing formation began to materialize. "A teleportation magic circle," Tiemiya gasped. "Our holy knights won't let you escape," Leisha declared coldly, her forces already moving into position. Lilim's heart pounded. "There's no escape forward or back," she thought in terror. "It's the first time I've seen Lugo-san get hurt, and it's because of me." "Lilim, can you raise your hands up?" Lugo asked, his voice calm despite the chaos. "Ah, yes," she managed, lifting them. "Tiemiya, take care of Lilim," Lugo instructed. "I don't know why things ended up like this," Tiemiya said, determination blazing in her eyes, "but I do know what I need to do." "Lugo-san!" Lilim cried. "Lugo! Don't you dare die!" Tiemiya shouted. "Of course not. I have no intention of dying," Lugo promised, stepping forward. The holy knights jeered. "Begging for your life? You really think you'll be forgiven now?" Lugo raised a hand. "Gravity! Gravity magic! Seriously!" Leisha gasped as a crushing force pressed down. "Kia!" Tiemiya cried, staggering. "Awa-wa-wa-wa!" Lilim yelped as the sudden gravity shift rocked the floor. "Attacking your own allies! Have you lost your mind?" Leisha shouted furiously. "Out of my way!" Tiemiya roared, charging forward. "A body slam?" One knight yelped in disbelief. "Don't falter! Strike them down!" Another shouted. "I'm counting on you, Tiemiya," Lugo called. "Seriously? You're not just a slave driver. You're a fairy king driver," Tiemiya barked back. "Wind, heed my call!" "Gah!" the knights cried as a gust sent them tumbling. "Whoa! Lilim, hold on tight!" Tiemiya urged. Yeah! Lilim clung to her. "Here we go! I see it!" Tiemiya's eyes lit up. "They're trying to use the magic circle?" Leisha realized in shock. "A teleportation circle isn't one way," Lugo shouted over the din. "If we touch it before the magic circle disappears, we can teleport to the starting point." "Holy knights, seize them with magic," Leisha commanded. "Too late," Tiemiya yelled. "I don't know where it'll drop us, but once we're through, we're home free." "Lugo-san," Lilim cried. "Leave the rest to me," Lugo said, his voice steady. Lisha's face twisted in fury. Do you even realize what you've done? You've made an enemy of me, Saintess Lisha Marente, and of the entire Erat Holy Church. And what of it? Lugo replied coldly. You seem unaware of how terrifying I truly am. I am a saintess, an adventurer who once traveled with the hero Luke's party. I am the guardian of the world who destroys those who bring harm to others. I know that all too well, Lugo said, his eyes narrowing. I see healing wounds without using magic, so it's not just Lilim. You're a monster too. I've allowed 3 monsters to step foot into the holy sanctuary. Lisha's voice was low and dangerous. I'm not a monster, Lugo said firmly. And even if Lilim and Tiemia are, they serve others and cherish peace. If anything, they deserve to live alongside humans. Coexistence, you say? What nonsense, Lisha spat. Even if you're not a monster, if you side with them, you're no different. Now be still and become a stain upon my sacred blade. She lunged, holy sword drawn. Gravity magic and healing, his agility to dodge the holy engraved sword. He's dangerous. You're a monster. A monster, huh? Lugo muttered. You called me that before too. Don't be absurd. I don't know you, Lisha snapped. You really don't remember? Lugo asked, almost sorrowfully. A monster like you should never be left alone. I've always made sure to eliminate every last one. Now, holy knights, slay the monster. Yes, ma'am, the knights cried, weapons drawn. Don't interfere. Lugo's voice rang out like a death sentence. The knights surged forward and were instantly slammed to the ground with a wave of crushing force. Gah! Lisha steadied herself, glaring. To wield gravity magic with such mastery. I will ask you one more time. Will you form a party with me? Lugo didn't hesitate. No! As I thought! Lisha spat, only for her eyes to widen. He vanished? Lisha-sama! Behind you! One knight screamed. Wall! Lisha shouted, a glowing barrier flaring into existence just in time. Lugo appeared behind it, blade drawn. So you can block an attack like that now. I absolutely mustn't lose. For humanity! Lisha's grip on her sword tightened. Lugo readied himself. An attack that utilizes the holy sword. Seikoko. Lisha's eyes blazed. How do you know that name? The condition for activation is to inscribe a seal in the air with the sword. Therefore, it's weak against extreme close-range attacks. Lugo lunged in. Lisha barely defended. Naturally, I know Seikoko's weakness. That's why I mastered defensive magic and swordsmanship. She gritted her teeth. But he's too strong. Lugo smirked. What's wrong? All you're doing is defending. The Saintess is the shield of the people. I won't fall for your provocation. Lisha maintained her guard. Oh! Lugo tilted his head, amused. Lisha's thoughts raced. A monster concealing its identity to blend in with people. It's a threat, and this man protects it. He's even more dangerous. Now, I will deliver unto you condemnation. She raised Seikoko high, but Lugo dodged. Oh no, where did I go wrong? Lisha's mind reeled. The Saintess and the hero's party member. I cut down every imaginable kind of monster with the holy sword. That's right. I even cut off the hero's head on the kingdom's command. However, it resulted in the monsters becoming active. Yes, I was mistaken. The one who should be condemned is a crushing force pressed down on her, crushed to death by gravity magic, a fitting end for me. But something splashed against her lips. This is a healing potion? Lugo stood over her. When you get worked up, your movements lose finesse. You lose concentration when you believe you have the advantage. What are... Lisha rasped. I always cautioned you, but it seems you haven't improved. Her eyes trembled. Who in the world are... Lugo's gaze was cold, yet faintly sad. I told you to remember, didn't I? To be continued. We'll cover the next story very soon. Stay tuned. If you like the story, let me know in the comments.